You know that feeling? The one where you're just grinding through the week, waiting for the weekend? Well, according to the late, great Sir Ken Robinson, that's not just a you problem. It's a symptom of a massive global crisis. This is a crisis of wasted human potential. So, in this explainer, we're going to break down his incredible philosophy for finding your passion and really living a life that actually feels like your own. Robinson doesn't waste any time. He hits you with this question right out of the gate. So the real challenge is, what are you going to do with this one precious life you've been given? And that huge question leads us right to the heart of the problem he saw in the world. He had a really interesting name for it: the other climate crisis. I think we all know this feeling, or we know someone who does, that weekend wait. So many people spend their days just enduring. There's no real joy, just counting down the hours. Robinson looked at this and he didn't see it as normal. He saw it as a tragedy, happening on a massive scale. We hear about the climate crisis all the time, right? The very real threat to our planet's natural resources. And it's absolutely urgent. But Robinson's whole point was that there's another crisis happening at the same time, one that's just as damaging to our future as a species. And here it is, the crisis of human resources. It's the simple but kind of devastating fact that so many people go through their entire lives without ever discovering what they're truly capable of. They never get a chance to tap into their deepest, most authentic talents. So if that's the problem, what's the solution? For Robinson, the answer could be found in one powerful idea. He called it the element. So what is the element? Well, think of it as that magical sweet spot. It's the place where the things you are naturally good at crash right into the things you are deeply passionate about. And it's gotta be both. It's not just one or the other. It's the fusion of the two that creates the magic. Let's break those two things down. First, you've got aptitude. That's when you just get something. Robinson gives the example of Terence Tao, a math genius who was doing college-level math when he was 8 years old. But then there's passion. That's when you love it. For that, he talks about Eva Lawrence, a pro pool player who said the first time she walked into a pool hall, it felt like in Aladdin's cave. The sport just completely captivated her. And this quote from her perfectly captures what it feels like to be in your element. When Eva is playing pool, time just melts away. That's one of the biggest clues you found a real passion. When an hour feels like 5 minutes. But what happens when you've got the talent, but there's no passion? Robinson shared this really powerful cautionary tale that shows exactly why aptitude all by itself is never enough. So meet Millicent. She was a brilliant concert pianist. I mean, technically flawless, the absolute best in her field. After this one perfect performance, her conductor didn't just congratulate her. He looked her right in the eye and asked, "You didn't enjoy that, did you?" And she had to admit it, she didn't. She was only doing it because she was good at it. And the conductor's advice is the key takeaway here. Just because you're good at something doesn't mean you should build your entire life around it. Without passion, talent can feel less like a gift and more like a cage. You know, Millicent actually quit the piano and became a book editor. She said she was poorer, but she was happier than she had ever been in her life. So, how do we find this amazing intersection of talent and passion? Well, according to Robinson, it's almost never a straight line. Life is not a resume. It's way messier and honestly way more interesting than that. Take the story of gymnast Bart Connor. As a little kid, he had this weird talent. He could walk on his hands just as easily as his feet. Now, instead of telling him to stop being weird, his mother saw a spark. She took him to a gymnastics center, a place he said was just intoxicating. And that one small move, that one act of encouragement, set him on a path to Olympic gold. See, the point is, Bart's mom couldn't have planned an Olympic career for him. Life just doesn't work like that. It's not an assembly line. Robinson believed we create our own lives, moment by moment, by noticing what feels right, by grabbing opportunities that really speak to us, and just seeing where they take us. And this all brings us to the final and maybe the most empowering part of Robinson's whole message. It's all about the power we have to choose. The great mythologist Joseph Campbell had a famous way of putting this: follow your bliss. His whole idea was that when you pursue what truly lights you up and energizes you, the world kind of responds. Doors start to open up where you only saw walls before. And it's because you're creating a path that is uniquely, authentically yours. And this really is the bottom line. This is the ultimate takeaway. We are not defined by our pasts, by our circumstances, or by what other people think we should be.
As the psychologist Carl Jung so perfectly put it, we are defined by what we choose to become. We are the authors of our own story. And so, this whole explainer leaves us right back where we started, with a question. But it's a little different this time. It's not just about what you're going to do with your life. It's about who you will choose to be. What path will you create for yourself?
Thank you for watching the video. If you like the content we make, press like and subscribe to our channel.